A blessed day, friends! You know what? Suggestion ko, you prepare na your second cup of coffee for today. Kasi may kwento ako. At ang kwento ko ay hindi lamang siya inspiring, kundi true to life pa siya. And it happened to be revolving around our quotation for today. Lucky are those who overcome bad fortunes in life. Na-notice nyo naman, may background picture na naman ako. And this happened to be in Pasig, Cebu City. They say, Pasig is comparable to Tondo in Manila. And this is where the plot of my story will be. And it is from a young and growing family of Sis Amy and Brad Michel Macaraya. In Pasig, you would see the poorest of the poor. But this place is where we have lots of friends of the Divine Mercy community members who might be very poor, but they are very rich in faith. Now, my story would start on around January last year, January 2020, where a big fire hit Pasig. Nung nalaman namin yung balita, we can only pray na, Lord, di bali maubos yung bahay nila sa sunog. Just please, keep them out of that place alive and complete and safe. Can you imagine this place, that narrow pathway, parents frantically running, searching, shouting the names of their children amidst the blazing, growing fire, burning their houses. So, these families of Sis Amy and Brad Michel were one of those frantically searching for where their children are at to save them from the fire. Luckily, they managed to be out complete and alive, including the families of their brothers and sisters and their parents. Luckily, they were all saved and alive. So they have a relative who owns a big old place away from that area, and they lived there and relocated there. So parang apat sila na pamilya in one house. And that was last year. And you know what? 2 months after that situation happened is another misfortune. And that is the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. Nawalan sila ng kabuhayan sa sunog. And nawalan pa rin so much more during the lockdown. These family, by the way, are earning selling seafoods in the fish market in Pasig. So there was no livelihood at all during the lockdown. They are living every day by miracles upon miracles and by God's grace. And in fact, on that year, Sis Amy conceived their 5th child. And on February 14, 2021, that's this year, she gave birth to a bouncing baby girl. But you know what? Instead of recovering, Sis Amy's health deteriorated to the point that she needed to be rushed to the hospital a month or just about March of this year, a month after giving birth. She became worse to the point that her families were asking all of us to rain heavens with miracles and help and healing so that para hindi lang siya ma-intubated. Her doctors found out that her lungs was filled with liquid and her heart is not functioning correctly at all. So her health worsened in the hospital. So since Brad Michel needs to be with Sis Amy in the hospital, their 5 children, including the youngest one, just about a month old, needed to be distributed separately with the family members who would be taking care of them while their parents are in the hospital. By God's grace and by God's miracle, Sis Ami was not needed to be intubated. Hindi na siya na-intubated. And kahit na ang laki ng hospital bills, she managed to be healed and she's out in the hospital already. And that was another misfortune in life, right? Nasunugan, nag-COVID pandemic lockdown, and health scare, yung health deteriorating of a mom who just gave birth. She was on her brink of her death at that time. It was indeed by their faith in God that they managed to be alive and be complete until today. So last Sunday, I happened to be honored, grateful, and humbled godparent of the bouncing baby girl named Mary Grace Divine Macaraya. During the baptism, I witnessed God's miracle. I witnessed God's hope. I witnessed the life, that there is still life amidst all the misfortunes in their lives. Nakita ko si Sis Ami and Brad Mitchell na kahit na misfortune upon misfortune has happened in their life, they remain to survive. They remain to be alive because they have the faith. And I was blessed and I was inspired by this couple. So friends, kung may kwento kayo na inspiring din, kagaya nila Sis Ami and Brad Mitchell, share naman in the comment below. And let me leave you with verses of Psalm 91, because there's no other verses that I could think of trying to imagine the story of Sis Ami and Brad Mitchell's family's misfortune. So since I'm very inspired, allow me to sing just some of the few verses on Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Friends, sana na-bless kayo sa story ko, and no matter what misfortunes you have in life, just keep the faith and keep on praying. God bless you, friends. Till next time.
Of coffee, it made my day beautiful. Have a lovely, 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 lovely day. Oh yeah, over a cup of coffee. Oh yeah, over a cup of coffee. Oh yeah, over a cup of coffee.